What's going on, guys? TraderJud here with a weekly recap for last week. Taking a look at the pairs on the charts, how I had them marked up last week. We're going to look at possible trade opportunities that we could have taken from the setups that I drew out for you guys last week. And for those of you that are looking for this week's setup video or this week's weekly charting series video, that will be out tomorrow. It'll probably be tomorrow evening. So be on the lookout for that. But for right now, this will be a relatively short video. I'm not going to go into too much detail. EU, I didn't really see any good opportunities. I didn't trade EU last week. We are, however, seeing some sort of a good opportunity or potential for a good opportunity with the retest of this zone and this bullish engulfing candle right here. But I'll touch on that I'll touch on that on the video tomorrow. Looking at USD JPY, we can see the break in then the perfect retest of this support and resistance level. You'll notice that I got in on this bullish hammer right here. Is where the entry is. And I did this as a 2-to-1 trade, and the reason why I did this as a 2-to-1 trade instead of trading all the way up to the zone is because if we draw a Fibonacci retracement, we can see that the 88.6 is right up there. I have to set my take profit for more than the 78.6 retracement level because risk-reward ratio would have been very bad with that. And so instead of setting it straight for the 88.6, I set my risk-reward ratio exactly at a 2-to-1 trade. So there's that. Relatively easy, quick take profit. You didn't have to wait too long on that one. Moving on to the next one, this is gold. Now this one, I didn't take this trade, but this would be an aggressive opportunity to trade. We know that gold is ranging, and the reason why I didn't take this trade is because I wasn't paying attention to the market when the opportunity was there. But we have a rejection of this zone, even though it didn't touch it. It is so close that it's considered to be a rejection of that zone, and then you had an immediate fall. The reason why I have it falling to this zone down here instead of to the trend line is because this has been consolidating in this range. Even though the trend line is valid, it's still more likely that price is going to hit this bottom area where the price has been ranging, and so I would have been comfortable setting a take profit at that level. You could have also set a take profit for where the roundabouts of where this trend line was, and as you can see, it would have hit almost immediately. The reason why we entered this trade, for multiple reasons why we entered this trade. One, we know price is ranging. I've already talked about that. Two, we have clear rejection, the long wick. Buyers are exhausted. We entered off of the first bearish candlestick confirmation, I guess. And then, as you can see, 4 hours later, price just disintegrated. So there's gold. EA is up next. We have a perfect break and retest on the trend line. I have it set at a 2-to-1 trade. I got out of this, but the reason I got out of it was because of the retracement. Because end of last week, I wasn't going to be able to watch the markets as closely as I was needing to be, so I just took profit on it instead of waiting it out. You, however, do have a good opportunity to get back into this because it is retesting the zone that is drawn right now. So it's something to keep an eye out on. I talked about this in the video last week that when I posted it, or when I was doing the recording it, that price was right on this trend line. It looked like a perfect break and retest, which it was. So if you got in after the retest of it, or the confirmation candlestick, I guess, after the retest, then this is what your entry would look like. And like I said, I had this set up to a perfect 2-to-1 trade, which it did not reach. It was a few, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 pips short of the 2-to-1 trade. I ended up closing after this bullish engulfing candle, the first one down here. But yeah, so that's what we got on EA. Those of you that follow me on Telegram, I posted this being a perfect setup on Telegram, which it is. GN. You have the double top, multiple rejections to the zone and the support and resistance level right here. Enter in off of all of the rejections. That's where your entry would be. Set your take profit 1 for right here. Set your take profit 2 for down here. Or look for a possible opportunity to re-enter, which we did get. The way that you would re-enter this is draw your Fibonacci retracement. Right there, a perfect rejection off the 61.8. There's your re-entry, and take profit 2 set at the zone is where I would have set it. You could have put it any place in the zone, I guess. So yeah, that's a very ideal trade on GN. Pretty easy, nothing too complicated about that. And it did exactly what the analysis says, so that's always a plus. Let's see here, AUD USD, we got a breakout and a continuation of this zone. The reason why we entered off of the second bullish candlestick is because typically speaking, not always, but usually if you get a bullish breakout candlestick and then you get another bullish candlestick following up, then it's safe to say that you're not going to get an immediate retracement. A lot of times you'll see something like an immediate retracement where you get a bullish candlestick that breaks out, then you get a bearish candlestick that retests it, and then you get another bullish candlestick after that. And that's what the candlestick that you would enter on. But if you don't get that bearish retracement candlestick, then it's okay. As you can see, there's another perfect 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. The reason why I wrote it 2-to-1, like I said last week, I was not available to look at the charts as much, and so I didn't want to risk it. Easy 2-to-1 trade opportunity with the rejection of the trend line. You could have gotten in on a sell on that rejection if you so pleased. However, I don't usually hold over the weekend unless I see good long-term opportunities. Long-term meaning like a month or more. But if it's just week-to-week trading, then I don't usually hold over the weekend. EJ is up next. I didn't see really any good opportunity to trade this. You could have gotten in on the second bullish candlestick just like on an AU. However, the risk reward ratio would be garbage with that, so I didn't want to post that because I don't necessarily recommend doing that. As you can see, it wouldn't have reached that level anyways, and so that's, I guess, my two thoughts on that. But nothing really good standing out for EJ. UCAD, pretty much the same thing. The beginning of the week, we were in this middle of the zone. You see price made it all the way down to the trend line, which I anticipated. Then we had some sort of new spike, which had a bearish hammer. It closed as a bearish hammer. You could have entered off of that for a sell. But again, the risk to reward ratio wouldn't have been all that great because your take profit would have been this support and resistance level down here. And that's not ideal for me, and so I'm not going to recommend that anybody else do it either. And as you can see, there hasn't been a whole bunch of movement on UCAD since then, or the close of the week out. So really nothing on UCAD. GU and GJ are both going to be pretty much the same on my approach. You could have sold this off of here, and that would have been fine. I didn't. I guess your setup would have looked something along this lines. So you've got your retest, the bearish engulfing candle off of it. You could have entered off of that if you wanted. Set your stop loss above the horizontal line and then just set a 2-to-1 trade, or you can set it to the zone, however you want to do. I would have set 2-to-1 trades, and here's the reason why. Is because if I would have set it to the top of this zone, that's not good risk to reward ratio, so we're looking at preferably a 2-to-1, a minimum of 2-to-1, which after looking at this, I probably would have still held this, except for when it closed late on Thursday, and so I guess I could have held it into Friday and just manually closed it, but like I said, not a whole bunch of opportunities for me to do to keep up with the markets at the end of last week, so I wouldn't have done that. But here's your opportunity to do that on GU. So if you took a trade on GU, it would have been something similar to that. And then GJ, something very similar on GJ. If you were going to trade this, you would have gotten in on the bearish engulfing candle that was the rejection of the support and resistance level that's drawn. Stop loss above market structure, and you would have set this for a 2-to-1. There's your 2-to-1 trade on GJ, and it would have just barely hit a couple hours before the market closed. I didn't take that trade, like I said, or like I feel like a broken record, but because I've said this so many times, but I didn't have a lot of opportunities to trade at the end of the week, so I didn't take this trade. But that's the opportunity that you would have been looking for if you would have taken it. No real good opportunity to get in on the breakout of this zone or the break of this trend line. Reason being is because by the time you had this bullish engulfing and then this bullish engulfing, the second candlestick breaking out of the trend line, then your risk reward ratio would have been garbage and you would not have wanted to enter in on that. So that's what I saw for last week, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section down below or shoot me a message on Telegram. My contact information will be in the description down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit a thumbs up for me. Support the channel. If you haven't already, follow me on Telegram. I post all my content on there, as well as TraderJud Facebook group. And yeah, so I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a message. I'm always available and always willing to answer questions. Thank you guys. Have a great week.